Next time you have an opportunity to make a difference for animals, will you be brave enough? Yes or no?
G'day everyone and welcome to Activity 32. Today we're going to be talking about something that is probably more important for conservation than all the frontline work that goes on, and that's the work in the communities. Because most of the problems of poaching come from within the communities. Now they come from the communities because of a number of reasons. Some people in the communities want to make a commercial benefit out of the wildlife that's running around in these reserves. Some of the people are genuinely starving. Sometimes there's political instability, economic downturn, sometimes there's war. And these are all reasons that could lead people to start trying to exploit natural resources. Now, it doesn't have to be like that. If the right systems are put in place, people are living in these surrounding communities can actually use their natural resources in a sustainable way. Not only in a way that it supports them within the communities, but in a way that can even provide an income for them once they've used up what they need to use. For example, things like gardening projects, things like bees. Now, bees can be used to make honey, but they can also be used to keep elephants out of crops. All the farming that people do, or the beading that people do. We have a beading project up in Chisarira National Park with the people up there. Local jewellery, handicrafts that they make, they can then be sold to tourists who are coming through the areas. This is all ways they can make money from their own skills rather than just going out and getting the easy and quick fix, which is poaching. Now, the people that are living in these areas surrounding the national parks, you've got to remember a national park is a man-made boundary, but the nature and the environment in there is something that's been around for a lot longer than man has. And now all of a sudden we've got these exploding human populations, and they're moving right up to these borders alongside the national parks. And then what you have there is human-wildlife conflict. And that could be something like an elephant coming through and destroying crops because they smell the different maize or different fruits and vegetables, and they want to come and eat it. Often people will try and defend their crops and be killed. You've got lions and leopards moving through on the outside of these reserves. Sometimes people get killed by those animals, and vice versa, the people want to kill them as well. And so there's often a lot of resentment. And even in areas I've worked in Mozambique, elephant is regarded by the local population as vermin, and they want to see them all killed because they destroy the way they try and live. But we really have to think right back to where it all began, and that was with the animals being there first. And so it's just a matter of trying to find some harmony and balance, and that's really what everything is about, is trying to find and maintain a balance. It's often the humans just seem to tip things over and try and take control of everything. They need to remember that we're part of a food chain. We're not on top of it.
I've come over the fence here, and our property ends about 20 metres away from this position. And we've come over the fence here and met with Edmund. Now, Edmund has the fields where they grow the maize for their local village. Now, one of the mistakes I made when I first got here is we started working inside our reserve and didn't really worry about what was happening on the outside of the reserve. And that's probably natural. We come to Africa, see what a problem is, and try and do an immediate solution. It's now that we've been here for a few years, we understand that you actually need to get into the core of the problem and address the issue there. And this is why we're now engaging in a lot of community projects. And one of these community projects is helping locals like Edmund to deal with human-wildlife conflict. Now you can see here they've got their maize yield, and this is going to feed their village for a whole year. And what an elephant can do in this area is come through and wipe out this whole maize field in one night. And Edmund's job is actually to stay here and guard the field from elephants, right, Edmund?
Yeah.
You get many elephants in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I think I can say there are two elephants.
Two
which are coming daily.
Daily?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yesterday at night,
yeah.
I think it was 11 o'clock.
Okay.
We came with the two national parks.
Okay.
National park scouts.
Yeah.
And then we find them, those elephants, two of them, they're down.
Is this damage here? Is this from the elephants?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
tell me, what happened with the elephants after they started causing the damage here? What happened with the national? You went with the national parks guys.
Okay. After the damaging here, and then they moved to that field.
Yeah.
And then we follow those two elephants.
Yeah.
When we follow them there, we stand and we see that they are too closer to us.
Okay.
And then they try to put them in the target.
Yeah.
And when we spot those elephants with spotlight,
Yeah.
after that, those elephants stop to eat
Yeah.
maize. And then when they stop to eat maize, they shoot one.
They shot it.
The big
They
one.
shot the elephant.
Yeah.
Dead.
I know.
No?
I think it was wounded.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then we follow that elephant. After that, we followed that elephant up to the corner of the fence there.
Yeah.
And we go back. Now, today, in the morning, we're trying to follow it. And then we see that he's going there to the forest bush. And
Okay.
then we come back.
Yeah. This is one of the big issues here, is that the locals don't understand that there are some alternatives to dealing with human-wildlife conflict. Things like planting chili trees around your fields, and even using small chili bombs, which you can fire from a weapon, will scare the elephant away, so they don't damage the field, and you don't have to kill the elephant. So these are projects that we're engaging in, what we call community scouts, where we teach certain people from within the community how to understand different types of animal behaviour and how to deal with it.
One of the major roles of the IPF is education, and starting education from a grassroots level, and that is teaching the kids. And not only teaching the kids in the classrooms and in the schools, but also getting them out into nature and making them understand what's happening. And we have groups of school children that come out, they'll spend time with the rangers, learning how to make campfires, learning how to find food from the bush, how to identify different animals and their tracks, different trees and different bird calls, and how our rangers work and operate. And when the kids start to learn about it, they start to care. And if they start to care now, they're going to grow up with a mindset of conservation. And that's exactly what we want, because the kids that are growing up today are the future of tomorrow. And these are the minds that we need to get into. So thanks very much for tuning in today, guys and girls. Your teacher's now going to take you through an activity which covers some of the topics that we've spoken about today.